These most rare and valuable old, dirty, 1971 UK Elizabeth coins hiding in a drawer or junk box. Most people would spend it without a second thought, and that mistake has already cost collectors a fortune. These coins came from a chaotic year in British minting history, when errors slipped through that were never meant to exist, scratches, strange shapes, missing details. What if I told you the dirtiest, most ignored penny in the UK, the one rattling around in old jars and coffee tins, could be hiding life-changing value, and collectors have already paid tens of thousands of pounds for the right one? I'm talking about a coin so common it was forgotten, yet so dangerous to ignore that it's turning ordinary people into big money winners. This is the old, dirty, 1971 UK Elizabeth I new penny coin, and its story is way darker, stranger, and more valuable than anyone ever expected. Back in 1971, Britain flipped the switch on its entire money system. Overnight, centuries of pounds, shillings, and pence were wiped away. Chaos, confusion, panic. The Royal Mint had to strike hundreds of millions of brand new coins at breakneck speed just to keep the country running. Corners were cut, dies were rushed, mistakes slipped through, and some of those mistakes were never supposed to exist. Most people see a brown, grimy 1971 penny and toss it aside. That's exactly why this coin has become a hidden treasure hunting ground. Let me hit you with the first shock. In 1971, the very first year of decimal coinage, the Royal Mint accidentally created one of the most famous mule coins in British history. A mule coin is when the front and back were never meant to be together, and somehow they escaped into circulation. A genuine 1971 new penny mule exists with the wrong obverse design, paired with dies from the old pre-decimal system. This isn't theory. This isn't rumor. One verified example sold at auction for over £130,000, another crossed the block for more than £40,000. That's not pocket change. That's big money hiding in plain sight. Now pause. Take a breath. Because here's the scary part. Most of these coins were found dirty, circulated, ignored, not shiny, not pretty. Exactly like the ones sitting in your drawer right now. So how do you spot a potential gold mine? Start with the basics. The date must read 1971. The reverse should say new penny, not one penny, which came later. That alone already makes it historically special. This was the first of its kind. Now look at Queen Elizabeth II on the front. Her portrait should be the Machin portrait, young Elizabeth, facing right, wearing a laurel wreath. But here's where collectors lean in. On rare error pieces, the portrait detail can look slightly off. The rim teeth, called denticles, may be mismatched. The rim itself might be unusually wide, thin, or uneven. Some examples were broad-struck, meaning the coin spread beyond the collar, creating a soft, rounded edge. Those have sold for £300 to £1,500, depending on condition. But we're just getting started. There are 1971 pennies struck off-center, where part of the design is missing. If you can clearly read the date and see a dramatic off-center strike, that's easily £500 to £2,000 in collector value. More if the error is extreme. Then there are double strikes, where the coin was struck twice, slightly rotated. These are visual, dramatic, and highly desirable. Verified examples have sold for £1,000 to £3,000. Now here's a moment where I need you to lean in. Some 1971 new pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchets. Not bronze. Wrong blanks. These off-metal errors are ultra-rare. When authenticated, they don't sell for hundreds. They sell for thousands. One confirmed off-metal 1971 penny stunned collectors when it sold for over £10,000. And remember, most were found dirty. Dark brown. Almost black. Exactly the kind of coin people never bother to check. Let's reset your attention with another bombshell. In the early 1970s, quality control at the Royal Mint was under immense pressure. That led to clipped planchet errors, where a chunk of the coin is literally missing. These aren't damaged coins. They were born that way. Depending on size and visibility of the date, these can bring £200 to £1,000. And then there's color. A normal 1971 penny should be bronze. But some have abnormal toning, deep chocolate brown, reddish hues, or uneven color caused by alloy mixing issues. While most color alone doesn't mean big money, when paired with other errors, values can jump fast. Collectors pay premiums for unusual, original surfaces, especially when untouched. Now let's talk about condition, because this is where dreams are made. A standard 1971 new penny in perfect, uncirculated condition has sold for hundreds of pounds. Yes, hundreds. Because despite massive mintages, very few were preserved perfectly. Most were spent, scratched, abused, and forgotten. So when you hear old dirty penny, don't tune out. Dirt doesn't kill value. Sometimes it protects it. One collector famously bought a grimy 1971 penny for a few pounds at a flea market. After professional authentication, it turned out to be a rare error variety. Final auction price: 5 figures. That's life-changing value from a coin nobody wanted. And here's the part that keeps experts awake at night. Not all varieties are fully cataloged. New discoveries still happen every year. That means there are unknown big money coins still hiding in collections, jars, and inherited boxes, especially in the UK and abroad. If you're in the US watching this, don't scroll past. These coins traveled. Tourists, military bases, immigration. UK pennies show up everywhere. So here's what I want you to do right now. Check every 1971 new penny you own. Look at the rim. Look at the portrait. Look for doubling. Look for anything that feels wrong. That wrong might be your hidden treasure. Because the difference between a worthless penny and a life-changing value can be one tiny mistake made over 50 years ago. And if this coin shocked you, the next one will blow your mind even more. Somewhere out there is another old, dirty coin worth more than a new car, maybe more than a house, and most people will never know they touched it. What if I told you that an old, dirty penny you've ignored your entire life could be hiding big money, the kind of life-changing value that has already paid off mortgages, funded retirements, and shocked seasoned collectors? I'm serious. One single 1971 UK Elizabeth II new pence coin has sold for more than some brand new cars, and most people would still toss it back into loose change without a second glance. This coin was never meant to be special, and that's exactly why it is. Back in 1971, Britain was in the middle of one of the biggest monetary shakeups in its entire history. Overnight, the country abandoned a system that had existed for centuries. Pounds, shillings, and pence, gone. In their place came decimal currency, and the Royal Mint was under enormous pressure to strike hundreds of millions of new coins fast. Really fast. And when speed replaces perfection, mistakes are born. The 1971 new penny was the very first decimal penny ever released. It entered circulation during confusion, uncertainty, and absolute chaos. Machines were overworked. Dies were reused. Planchets were mixed. Quality control slipped. And into the pockets of everyday people went coins that were never supposed to exist. That's why today, collectors hunt this coin like buried pirate gold. Most people remember it as brown, dirty, heavy, and boring. But to experts, that old dirty look can be a sign of untouched originality. Exactly what serious buyers want. Let's reset your attention right now with a jaw-dropper. A genuine 1971 new penny mule error. A coin struck with mismatched obverse and reverse dies has sold at public auction for over £130,000. That's not hype. That's recorded auction history. Another confirmed example sold for more than £40,000 same year. Same coin. Just one tiny mistake. That's big money hiding in plain sight. So how do you know if you're holding a common penny or a hidden treasure? Start with the obvious. The date must be 1971. The reverse must clearly read new penny, not one penny, which replaced it in 1982. That alone makes the coin historically important. Now flip it over. You should see Queen Elizabeth II facing right, wearing the laurel wreath. This is the Machin portrait. But look closely. On rare error coins, the portrait may appear slightly mismatched in scale, detail, or alignment. If anything looks off, your heart should start beating faster. Now let's talk about the rim. Collectors obsess over rims for a reason. Some 1971 new pennies were broad-struck, meaning the coin wasn't properly contained during striking. The result? A wider, flatter coin with a soft, stretched rim. These routinely sell for £300 to £1,500, depending on eye appeal and condition. Then there are off-center strikes. If part of the design is missing but the full date is visible, you're no longer talking about pocket change. You're talking £500 to £2,000, sometimes more if the error is dramatic. But we're just warming up. One of the most thrilling finds is the double strike. These coins were struck twice, often with a slight rotation between strikes. You'll see ghost-like doubling of letters, numbers, or the Queen's portrait. These errors are highly visual, and collectors love them. Confirmed sales range from £1,000 to £3,000. Now here comes another shock. Some 1971 new pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchets. Not bronze. The wrong blanks entirely. These off-metal errors are extremely rare, and when authenticated, they don't sell quietly. One verified example stunned the collecting world when it sold for over £10,000. And here's the part that keeps people awake at night. Most of these coins weren't shiny. They were dirty, dark, circulated. Exactly the kind of coin people never bother to examine. Let's reset your attention again. Clipped planchet errors, where a curved chunk of the coin is missing, are another big money category. These are mint errors, not damage. Depending on size and visibility of the date, these can bring £200 to £1,000 at auction. Now look at color. A normal 1971 penny should be bronze, but some show abnormal toning, deep chocolate brown, reddish hues, or uneven coloration caused by alloy mixing problems. On their own, color doesn't guarantee riches. But combined with errors, unusual color can significantly boost value. And condition matters more than most people realize. Despite huge mintages, very few 1971 new pennies survived in pristine condition. Most were used hard. So when a fully uncirculated example appears, collectors compete aggressively. High-grade examples have sold for hundreds of pounds, for a coin most people think is worthless. One famous story involves a collector who bought a grimy 1971 penny from a mixed lot for just a few pounds. After professional grading, it turned out to be a rare error variety. Final sale price? 5 figures. That's life-changing value from a coin no one wanted. And here's the most dangerous truth of all. Not every variety is known. New discoveries still happen. That means there are big money coins still hiding in drawers, jars, and inherited collections, especially in the UK, but also in the US. These coins traveled. Tourists, military families, immigration. British pennies show up everywhere. So if you're watching this in America, don't tune out. This hidden treasure could already be in your house. Here's what I want you to do after this video. Pull out every 1971 new penny you own. Check the date. Study the rim. Look for doubling. Look for off-center strikes. Feel the weight. Trust your instincts. That tiny "this looks strange" feeling has made people thousands. Because the difference between a worthless penny and life-changing value can be one small mistake made over 50 years ago under pressure at the Royal Mint. And if this coin shocked you, the next one will be even bigger. Somewhere out there is another old, dirty coin worth more than most people earn in a year, and the people who find them are the ones who actually look. Imagine holding a coin so ordinary, so grimy, that no one even bothers to look at it, yet that very same coin could be hiding life-changing value enough to shock collectors, fund retirements, or turn a dusty drawer into a gold mine. Today, we're talking about the 1971 old, dirty, UK Elizabeth V new pence coin, and trust me, what I'm about to show you could make you rethink every coin you've ever ignored. Back in 1971, Britain was in chaos. The country had just switched to decimal currency overnight, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. People were confused. Shops were panicked. And the Royal Mint was under extreme pressure to strike hundreds of millions of new coins as quickly as possible. Mistakes? They were inevitable. And some of those mistakes are the reason collectors today are paying tens of thousands of pounds for coins that, at first glance, look completely worthless. Most people toss a 1971 new pence coin into a jar and forget about it. But the truth is, this coin is a hidden treasure. It may be old and dirty, yes, but those same characteristics are what make it so valuable. Coins that look worn are often untouched by collectors and have survived decades in circulation without polishing or cleaning. And in the world of rare coins, originality equals money. Big money. Here's a first shocker. Some 1971 new pence coins were struck incorrectly at the mint, creating mule coins. Coins with obverse and reverse designs that were never meant to be paired. These errors are extremely rare. One confirmed 1971 mule sold for over £130,000 at auction. Another example fetched £40,000. Think about that, a coin that could have been thrown in the trash suddenly becomes life-changing value. So how do you spot a potential hidden treasure? Start with the date. The coin must read 1971. The reverse should clearly say new pence, not 5 pence or 1 penny, which came later. On the obverse, you should see Queen Elizabeth II, young and facing right, wearing the Mackin laurel portrait. Now, here's where attention to detail pays off. Look closely at the rim. Some coins are broad-struck, meaning the metal flowed outside the normal collar during striking, producing a wide, flat rim. Others are off-center, where part of the design is cut off. These errors are not cosmetic. They are collectible. Depending on the severity and condition, broad-struck or off-centered 1971 new pence coins can sell for anywhere from £300 to £2,000. And the surprises don't stop there. Some coins were struck twice, creating double strike errors. You might see faint ghost images of the Queen's face or doubled lettering. These examples are visually dramatic and highly sought after, often fetching £1,000 to £3,000 at auction. Now here's a real jaw-dropper. Some 1971 new pence coins were struck on the wrong metal planchet. That means they weren't even bronze, but a completely wrong alloy. One authenticated off-metal coin sold for over £10,000. That's big money hiding in the exact coins people thought were worthless. It gets crazier. During the rushed minting process, clipped planchet errors appeared. Coins with a missing portion of metal along the rim. These coins aren't damaged, they were born this way. Depending on the size of the clip and the visibility of the date, they can sell for £200 to £1,000, and because these coins were circulated and often dirty, the original toning can actually enhance their value. Color can tell you a lot, too. A normal 1971 new pence should be bronze. But some have unusual hues, deep chocolate brown, reddish tones, or uneven coloration caused by alloy inconsistencies. Alone, color isn't usually enough to command big money, but paired with errors or off-center strikes, it can dramatically increase the coin's auction price. Now, let's talk about condition. Despite the massive mintage in 1971, very few coins survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. A high-grade example of a normal 1971 new pence can still sell for hundreds of pounds, simply because collectors prize coins that have been preserved perfectly. That's life-changing value in your hand. Here's a story that might blow your mind. A collector bought a dusty, grimy 1971 new pence in a bag lot for a few pounds. After professional authentication, it turned out to be a rare error variety. Final sale? 5 figures. That's enough to completely change a person's financial life, all because they paid attention to a coin everyone else ignored. And here's the scariest part. Not every rare variety of the 1971 new pence has even been cataloged yet. There are still coins hiding out there. Asterisk, asterisk, unknown treasures, asterisk, asterisk in jars, drawers, or passed down collections. Every year, new discoveries are made. That could be your coin sitting right under your nose, waiting to be found. If you're in the US, don't scroll past. British coins traveled all over the world. Tourists, military families, and immigrants carried them everywhere. A 1971 new pence could be hiding anywhere, and it could be worth more than most people's yearly salary. So here's what to do. Check every 1971 new pence you own. Look closely at the date. Study the rim. Inspect for doubling, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or unusual color. Feel the weight. Trust that instinct. The coin that feels wrong might be your hidden treasure. Because the difference between an ordinary penny and a coin that delivers life-changing value is often a single, overlooked error made over 50 years ago. And remember, this isn't just a story. This is happening every day. Somewhere, someone is holding a coin worth more than a car, a vacation home, or even a small inheritance, and they don't know it yet.